Hello, guys, and welcome back to the SA DPC. We have the last best of three of the day. It's going to be the last best of three of the week as well. Apple King and Kings face off against Hokori to see who can take that tiebreaker and just nudge ever so slightly upwards. Hokori, a team that is actually doing pretty well considering last season's results. They managed to take a game off Beast Coast. That was probably the pride right now. And they've been really confident in their playstyle from the interviews we've managed to gather from them. Apple King and Kings not doing as hot, but really hoping to beat Hokori to stabilize. We'll see what they manage to do. For this wonderful encounter, we have my two lovely pro panelists. It's going to be Duster back again and Lelis. Hello, guys. Nice to see you, Duster, joining the panel. Did you get to catch the last series?
Good evening. No, I couldn't catch last series actually.
Because you were training so much for this series, right? You were looking at the Dota buffs and the replays, Duster, and that made it impossible. That's what you get. Some panelists are just too hardworking; they don't get to ever enjoy their time. So then, tell me, Duster, in this Hokori versus Apple King and Kings matchup, are you favoring anyone in particular?
I think they're very similar level. Probably the matchup with same level out of this league. I think this could easily
The
go
only one.
honestly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it pretty exciting. I think the teams are just gonna go ham on each other pretty much.
Do you agree with that, Lelis? Would you see them at the same level, more or less?
I would give Hokori a slight advantage. I think their players are a little bit individually better than Apu. I also think like the new roster change for them was good for them. And I think their carries is pretty good. Like he's been really consistent, playing really well in almost every game. Yuma, I don't know, you pronounce it Yuma?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I agree. We had was it RD? I think it was RDO that was on this panel. Was telling us that like he's just very impressed with Yuma being able to play literally any hero, and he has a wide pool of carries, which is not very common for carries as well. That's been a really good crutch in Hokori. What other players stand out to you from Hokori though? Since you talk about their individual skill.
I mean, I just see that they're like, sure, you can say MMR doesn't really matter, but they're just all higher rank. I think they're just a little bit better spellcasters. They've been like they have players that just they have more history, right? They've been on better placements. Core is like a TI player, right? Also, I really like their offlaner, the Vitali. I think he plays like most heroes. Hopefully, they don't pick Brood and they don't do the Brood thing they were doing against Beast Coast because that was bad. I think if they just play normal, I think they'll do really well.
You know, it's wild you say this, Lils, because most people, when Hokori kind of came into the scene, and particularly when they lost Lumiere, which was the original carry that the whole strategy was based around, they started being the kings of cheese, dude. Like, these are the guys that played Alchemist off lane with, like, Bristleback mid. You look at their drafts, literally from, like, the end of DPC until maybe now, like, especially the beginning with the Pro Series and everything, it was nasty. Like, all their drafts were just cheese, the most disgusting picks you could imagine, weird pocket strats, and they won with that. So it's interesting that you talk about their mechanical ability because they were known as a team that was like for their drafts, right? Duster, you got to experience that because Astini was actually their drafter for a while, so you know what it's like to be fed pocket strats. Is that how he coaches? Does he feed pocket strats to the team very often?
Not necessarily, but he does grab a lot from other regions. So in SA, it can be a bit more pocket, a bit more unusual.
Sure. I want to point out that last season he suggested a Baton mid to counter Batrider that's not seen in any other region. I thought that's never seen anywhere else. But he swore it won in scrims. He said its scrims were doing so well, but competitive not always the same. Duster, do you agree with Lelis' assessment of Hokori, or do you have something to say to bat for your Brazilian boys?
Yeah, for sure. Experience-wise, they have better players for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like Core is been so long playing already, and he played the last TI, so he's coming off hot this season, I guess. And Yuma, yeah, very impressive. But for me, Vitali is just the star of the scene. I really like this guy. But Apple Kings of Kings is just such a fun team to watch. They played this Monkey King mid. They played a lot of Train Protector. Like they're very creative, not necessarily cheesy, but I really like how creative they are and how well they use this niche heroes.
What is your opinion on the mid matchup, by the way? Because that was usually Hokori's Achilles heel. I also think Analog is probably their best mid laner they've had, but they've swapped mid laners on and off constantly throughout the seasons. And usually that's where they lose the lane. How do you find that Mini and Analog fare against each other, Duster?
I think I'm a bit more a fan of Mini. When he
Fair.
plays a hero, he's comfortable. But in terms of being versatile, I would say Analog. Analog plays more of the meta heroes. He's more comfortable with things that are strong on the patch. Now, Mini has his own style, his own craziness. If he can get his hands on something he's really crazy and good at, I would favor him.
Okay. What's your opinion on these two like different styles of not necessarily mid, but just a core player, right? A lot of teams like to say that they want like one wild card core player, you know, the Thompsons, the minis, whatever. Some teams just want something that can adapt to the meta. What is your preference to playing with Lilith?
I mean, I'd rather play with the guy that just has some weird heroes and he just feels confident on them because it just
Okay.
throws people off. Like people are just not used to playing against it. Like the Thompson thing. He just plays a bunch of random heroes, but he masters them really well, so he understands them, and he's just a really good spellcaster on them. So it catches people off guard, right? The Pugna thing at TI, like Monkey King when it came out,
Yeah.
like stuff like that is really good. It's really nice when you have a player on your team that's like that. Of course, you don't want every single player to be like that, but you want at least one to have that sort of trait.
You think Mini fits that mold a little bit for Apple King of Kings?
5 seconds remaining.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's improved a lot as a player. I think something from Apu that's really nice is they have their own strats and they do their own strats, and I can respect it. Like Mini plays his own heroes. He plays SF. He plays like Invoker. He plays the heroes he wants to play, and I can respect it. You know, some teams they kind of back off from that. They have this guy that plays
10
weird stuff. They just give him meta heroes, but
Yeah.
this team they play their own stuff and they win with it. You know,
5
so
seconds remaining.
it's very cool when you see that happen.
And I think it's a good, is the kind of thing you get for a team that's been together for so long as Apple King of Kings. This team has gone through some changes, but mostly have stayed together for the past 2 years, which is really impressive. Hokori in a similar position though, whereas Apple King of Kings are changing mostly their off laner, Hokori is mostly changing their mid laner with some small changes in between. So it's going to be a battle of the rising teams per se. And here there's the opening that we saw last game as well. Sanking Coddle. Are you more sold now on the call Lettuce after seeing Infamous play it?
Yeah, I think hopefully they use a mid hero that can benefit a lot from it. They're probably not going to get Ember, right? That hero's going to get auto banned. But hopefully they pick something that can actually benefit a lot from this mana spell. I don't want to see something like, I don't know, a Quap hero. I want either a Spirit hero or something that's just mega good with it. Because Sand King's okay, because you can get like 2 burrows in a small period of time. Not insane, you know, it's not something amazing, but they had this plan, right? They knew that they were gonna pick this Trinity hero because it's very common for them, so they have to have this planned. So they get the Monkey King too, which is not surprising after last series that Apu played, right? Against it was against Infinity.
Infinity, thank you.
That Monkey King was very contested. That Infinity won both games they picked Monkey King, right? So maybe Apu noticed that, wait, maybe this hero's good. And then they picked it. They already banned the Quap counter. They're probably going to ban Viper and something else, right? And just kind of put this hero mid.
You were talking to Duster as well about the uniqueness, right, of the picks. Not cheesy, but unique for sure. Trint and Monkey King definitely two of the signature picks for them. If we go a little bit away from the draft, I do want to know, Duster, what is it that makes Trint powerful for them? Like, what does make what does Apu do with a hero that allows them to play it successfully?
Like, it's such a comfort pick for their 5 setting. Is actually the highest win rate they have in pro games also, this hero. So they are very, very comfortable, and it's just like very... he gives a lot of sustain to his mid lane and mini to keep snowballing. So he picks this Shadow Fiends, this Invoker, this Monkey King, and he's constantly being buffed by Living Armor, while Setting can actually hold the safe lane tower. And their carry, Benny, he can farm jungle while his tower is gonna get saved by Treant Protectors for a long time. So it just fits their strat overall. Helps Benny farm and helps mini snowball.
I like that. How he fits sometimes the 5 can be more of a global strat like the Trim Protector, as Duster just pointed out. It's not so much for Benny. Benny always goes jungle and AFK farms. That's kind of his style. He's always been the Gyrocopter Luna kind of carry. What sticks out to you from Benny, by the way? We talked about Yuma's hero pool and everything. Anything about Benny that like you find particularly great, Duster?
I love his hero pool, to be honest. I just
Like,
love how
like it's a good
solid
one?
it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I just love how solid it is and how he can actually get the farm no matter what. Like, he farms very well, and he still picks these heroes that fight, like Gyrocopter and Luna, but he always has really good net worth.
I'm impressed by Benny by the fact that he's learned Portuguese just to play Dota with Portuguese people, Brazilian people. Yeah, he's learned enough to communicate in the game, apparently. They had that issue with Valky, remember? That they said that Valky was kicked because they couldn't really communicate. Obviously, you can't learn Portuguese like 4 months. But Benny, at this point, he told me in an interview recently that he's okay now. He's comfortable enough to talk in game, which is very impressive. Just learn the language to be able to play with the best, is what he said. We'll see. It is indeed. That's Hokori go for the Ogre Magi. That sets up for any Yuma pick, honestly. His hero pool is kind of massive. One of Gareth's favorite heroes, though. He was picking this even before Ogre Magi was meta.
Pretty standard stuff from Hokori. Picking their offlaner with their 4, and now they pick their 5, so they keep both core picks for later, so they can counter pick. Let's see what Apu is going to show now. They're probably going to pick their offlaner. This Monkey King's probably going mid no matter what. I don't think they're going to play this carry. I mean, not that he can't play this carry, but Mini's just a level 30 Monkey King, right? He's probably going to play this hero. Would
you not pick the safe lane now, since you already know your lane matchup, or are you more worried about the core-to-core matchup there?
You can. It just says how confident you feel like playing it. I can see them pick a Luna here, but if they pick Luna, they're probably going to play against Medusa, right? Because this is where these second phase bans come into play. So if they haven't banned for this carry pick, it might be hard to pick it. Since they already picked a hero and then they banned for it, it's kind of... I don't think you want to pick your carry like this. You probably want to ban for it, the second phase. For any counter matchup. So it's not that bad. Maybe they will. It's hard to say too. There's always the option where you can tri-lane too. So maybe you want to pick a carry that's strong in tri-lane.
And they will go for what you suggested. They're going to pick their offlane here. It's going to be the Snapfire for them. Dunya did play the Snapfire as a 4, but it's interesting. We have never seen him play as an offlaner Snapfire. Do you think that's going to suit his pool more, Lelis? Because we were talking about him trying to adapt to the position. Maybe playing these supporty offlaners is easier for him.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a hero that he's very experienced with. Probably he'll feel a lot comfortable. But I'm not sold on this pick. I don't know. I think they don't really have a hero to go in for them. And I think the Snap hero, it's sure you can argue that it's a Nyx, but this Trini hero's just gonna sit behind, or he's gonna wait for something to happen. And I feel like this Snap hero gets a lot of value out of flexing it, and this just shows that it's offlane, so it's okay. It's not like this hero is OP or anything. It's a fine pick. It's just what they want to play.
Hokori still saved their last pick, which they could do here if the Monkey King gets flexed. We're gonna see if they determine to pick their carry here for Yuma or their mid lane, since they already know the matchup. As for you, Duster, what do you think of the support duo of Nyx and Trim Protector? Do you find it a little bit weak, maybe? In the lanes, at least?
I feel Trim Protector has actually a decent lane. Especially if you pair it up with a range core. And I feel like this Nyx and Snapfire can lane pretty nice also. Cooking into Impel and stuff like this. They have a lot of damage. And they definitely rely on winning this lane to make it work. I agree, Lelis, they don't have a hero to keep making plays on the map. To play with Nyx Assassin, you know. They don't have a Storm Spirit or an Ember Spirit to jump in with this Nyx. So they rely a lot on winning this offlane, in my opinion.
Can Monkey King fulfill that role? Sometimes Mini plays it super aggressively. Do you think that's okay?
Okay, but he does need a few items before he can do it well, I think. And he's also a hero that if he jumps in and get cocked, he's not going out.
Now, Hokori, they pick up their carry. Well, what I presume is their carry. They could go sanking mid still, of course. But CK, for now, assuming that's the position. What do you think of him against the Snapfire Nyx Assassin lane? Is he capable of holding his own there, Lelis?
Yeah, I mean, CK is one of the stronger laners as a carry.
Yeah.
And I think it was good. I think they should match this lane in strength, because Nyx is pretty weak in lane. You don't want to play this pseudo-weak lane where Nyx just kind of gets away with it. I think you want to pressure the Nyx, so he has to not leave the snap ever, or if he ever leaves the snap, Snap's just going to feed.
Yep. And
Nyx doesn't really want to do that much. He kind of wants to walk around, fuck with the mid laner, right, get the runes. So I like Hokori's approach. I'm not entirely sure on how good CK is this game. I'm not sure how CK is against Treant. He's probably going to have to have Manta just for this hero, but it's not the end of the world. It does hold all his Phantasm illusions though, the ulti, which some people think it's like a counter, but they also have a lot of AoE with the snap to clear the illusions.
10 seconds
What
remaining.
what do you think it also validates the cuddle pick a little bit more? Because you were asking about wanting a mid laner that can abuse the chakra magic.
Yeah. The thing is, like, you see the heroes that are banning. They're banning heroes that are good in lane against Monkey, right? They don't even care about the heroes that are good with Coddle. So
Okay.
probably because he's confident enough that if he plays Monkey against Ember, for example, he's gonna crush him.
Yeah.
It's a interesting approach. They haven't banned a single. They only banned Storm, right? Which is probably a good ban, the best ban,
Yeah.
right?
It's the level 30 Monkey King strategy. I think it's just all in the same basket, honestly. When you have a Monkey King spanner like me.
I mean, if Analog's confident enough in playing Ember, I think it's a super good Ember game. Yeah. There's this Nyx hero, but I don't think you care that much. Snapfire is super bad against Ember. Also think Trina doesn't do anything against Ember. If he's confident enough that he's not gonna get crushed, it's probably a really good Ember game.
There's the classic Benny hero, the Gyrocopter. You mentioned it, Duster. Is the solid pool heroes for Benny, you know? The most traditional carries you can think of. Is the matchup Gyro versus CK, though, okay, this game, Duster?
Twin Protector helping him.
Okay,
And it's gonna be interesting to see he build is gonna choose for, because you can go for the eggs Mjolnir to deal with illusions, but that's not very usual for Gyrocopter, so I'm very interesting to see which build is gonna opt to go. It is
what do
a
you think?
super strong lane though, like they should deal pretty well with the Sun King.
What do you think Hokori is missing right now? Should the draft include?
I feel like they're being cornered into picking December, and honestly, it just looks too good for them indeed. Like, Coddle Ember is just the most annoying thing ever. Once they get their levels and start spamming Fist, it's just unplayable for mid laners that don't have a lot of armor and stuff.
Oh, okay. They're gonna deviate instead to go for the Zeus. We've actually seen this from once before from Hokori. I think it was the game against Beast Coast, right? Where they ran the Zeus?
Yeah.
Yeah, the Zeus Bloodseeker combo. Oh, Thunder. It was Thunder's too.
Oh,
yeah,
Thunder.
It
Yeah, that's right.
It was a Zeus Bloodseeker that they ran. You weren't. I was about to say that, Duster. that build gave me a bit of PTSD here. Did you like though his playstyle on Zeus? Did you like what they did with him, like the Kai and Sanj idea, building him more like a tank? Did you think that was actually viable?
Maybe tune the build a bit more, but the playstyle in general, I really like how it worked out. It provides a lot of damage for them, and actually should be pretty nice with Koro. Should farm pretty fast, and Koro's gonna make some stacks. He should get pretty big this game. I like it.
Okay. Are you siding with them then, Duster? Or are you going the way of Apple?
I will go with Hokori.
All right, Ellis. What about yourself?
I'm gonna go with Hokori. I think they're just a better team. I like the Zeus pick. I think it's pretty spicy. It can complement pretty well with Coddle. I think he's gonna farm a lot with probably stacks and stuff. I have yet to see Zeus do well though, but I hope he does well, because I think the hero is good. Like, he has this escape thing, and his shard just gives him the level 4 static field, right? So hopefully this hero does well. I like Zeus a lot.
All right, a lot of Zeus fans. I agree with you. By the way, I'm glad that Zeus is getting a little bit more protagonism. We're gonna see if Hokori is capable of proving our draft's expectations, or if Apukinya Kings will run away with the game with that mini Monkey King. To cast this wonderful encounter, we have the same guys from before, but there's the best casting duo, so of course we keep him here. It's Gareth and Lacoste.
Thank you very much. Yeah, here we are. Now, I was excited already with a mini Monkey King at the start of the draft, but a Zeus to round it out. Lacoste with a Kotl as well. This is going to be insane.
Yeah, looks good. I'd say it looks decent. They do have like Monkey to close the gap, but Zeus is not that not a hero with no escape mechanism anymore. He does have this, what's it called, Heavenly Jump as his basic ability now, so he can get away. Like, he can jump over the cliffs, on the cliff, so not that easy to gank, but he does need a shard early on because it's his old ability, the static field. Be able to deal the percentage-based damage. Has Coddle with him to refill the mana. Panel talked about clearing the stacks. Doesn't get anything from Bloodlust, so you have like only one target that gets Bloodlust from this game, and it's going to be CK pretty much. But that works fine. But it reveals also the real hero, so which is kind of a bummer. But other than that, looks okay. On the side of Apu, we have a Treant Protector. Our boy Nyx Assassin as well.
Making a return.
making a return. People were paying attention to what happened in the previous series. No one put the faith in this little ugly bug. And he did well. He did okay. Much better than I expected.
Yeah, I mean, like the panel said, though, right? He doesn't have a Storm or one of those spirits or gap-closing heroes, really, apart from the Monkey King, to get on top of people when he scouts them out. But we'll see how things go, especially in that laning stage. And it does appear he's going to be that position 4 Nyx, not the 5 we saw previously. Oh, Observer Ward scouted. Dye got there first. They know there's vision up on that high ground.
Yeah, the difference between position 4 and 5 Nyx Assassin is you do the same thing as 4 and 5. Like, you can farm. You just don't buy sentry wards, pretty much. That's that's the only difference. Because this hero really has a hard time farming. Meteor Hammer, not an item anymore, not as good. People were buying it before. I think that item synergized really well with position 4 Nyx Assassin because it allowed him to like get an extra stun, needed mana regen and HP regen.
Look at this
nicely.
They're using that vision to their advantage. They're actually wrapped around onto Jupiter's Nyx Assassin. Nearly killed him off. The Burst Strike will secure it. First blood and potentially another one here. D-Ward at the very least, thanks to Analog's Lightning Bolt, but the Treant wanders himself back through the forest safely.
The battle begins.
Yeah, so
How many
they get
bounties?
They're gonna get 3. I think they might
4?
get even 4. Yeah. CK, he has a horse. Look at him go.
That is a beautiful horse. It's amazing.
It's an amazing horse. Look at that horse.
Don't lick it, Lacoste.
So Zeus mid lane, 4 bounty runes. He got Observer Ward as well. Very close to bottle. Zeus not a weak laner anymore by any means. He has a lot of right clicks. 65. He actually has more damage than a Monkey King. Extra 10.
Yeah, it was a while back, right? He got the like base attack time reduction. He got damage bonus. He got movement speed bonus. He's been buffed tons over the past maybe 2 years.
He needed it. This hero was unplayable. You couldn't last it unless you're using mana.
Yeah, it was real rough. Spam clarities 24/7. We'll see how he does against that Monkey King. Usually Mini, very good at dominating in his lane matchup. In these side lanes, Seram already at the bottom. Yeah, Burst Strike plus the Illuminate. Just catching it, the Treant off guard. Dishing a lot of damage onto him. That's going to be his job. Keep Benny safely farming away on that Gyro, of course. While top lane, yeah, Gardic doing the exact same thing, just bodyguarding. Making sure that his CK is fine.
Yeah, bodyguardic ogre.
Good.
Bottom lane, very interesting stuff coming out from Keeper of the Light, Quelling Blade. He does like this is not griefing. He wants to cut down the trees, so Treant Protector doesn't have an angle to approach. You've seen this in your pub, probably it means off lane Keeper of the Light, but these are professional athletes, so they know what they're doing.
Cyber sporters.
Yeah, cyber gamers.
Well, they've dragged that wave back to their tier 1 on the dire side. So Vitali, the star player the panel was talking about on this initiation hero. Looks like he's going to go for a couple of small items. Yeah, then immediately queues up Blink. That's what we like to see. Early action from that Sand King, knowing what his job and role is this game, and it is to start fights and allow that Zeus and CK to do the damage. Currently, Zeus having maybe a little bit of a rough time. About a wave behind the Monkey King in CS, but he's all right with that.
He's catching up. Not the greatest last hit. Missed like bolt on a mid lane. Didn't get the range creep. I was paying attention to bottom after that. But yeah, now missing a bit more. We're cursing him, Gary. Missed another
stop
one.
looking. Stop watching mid. Look somewhere else. Observing is changing the outcome of the experiment. Seram. It's a big Illuminate again. That's so nice having Illuminate plus the Caustic. You just put the Caustic on a bunch of creeps, Illuminate, blow them up in the Gyro's face. As top, that cookie lands, and Nyx with a stick turns to stun, but only hits the Ogre, so CK trying to chase him down,
Needs
but
the crit.
needs the Mango. He's got the stun from the Ogre and the final hit. He even had Mango stick for another Chaos Bolt, but he didn't need it. Instead, goes back on Dunya for a sec, using up what little resources he's got left. But noticing Snap has 9 stick charges, it wouldn't have been a kill no matter what happened there. Bottom again, onto the Treant. And that Solar Bind slow. Doing a lot of work, but Treant tanky enough and fast enough with the brown boots.
Early point in Solar Bind. I have not seen this yet. And I've seen a lot of Coddle lately.
Yeah.
Just feels like you want to have more points in Illuminate to be able to push the creep wave, get more points in Chakra to replenish yourself, mostly, and your allies. Ooh, he's still gonna get it. Get the range creep bottom.
Nicely done.
Like, they're gonna get decent amount of farm on the bottom lane. Sanking, as you said, like, not going for anything fancy. Just magic 1, 2 extra branches to have a little bit more stats. And just getting Blink Dagger. I like that. We've seen in the previous series what the Blink Dagger Rush can do. They completely ruin the mid lane. And I assume they can do the same thing. I think Monkey is pretty important in this one. This is hero loves to rotate early on, especially if he gets some kind of rune. Either a haste rune or a double damage.
Oversteps a little bit, realizing Vitali is low and out of 1 charges. Makes a bit of damage back himself, but overall, Saram and Benny perfectly happy with that exchange, forcing salves out of Hokori. Top again. They're going on to the Snapfire this time, ignoring the Nyx Assassin, but the 2-man Impale slows their damage down. Yuma, what's he got? A Soul Ring and, what, 8 seconds left on the Reality Rift. He needs Gardic to land another stun. So he pops the Clarity.
Here we go.
Gets the stun going, and that will allow them to secure their second kill.
Oh, Clarity's still running. Not anymore.
Not anymore. Third kill, in fact. 2-0-1 on the CK, and 003, the Gardic Ogre. Good start from Hokori in their safe lane, that's for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I think everyone knows Nyx Assassin as a hero doesn't really give you much in terms of the laning. Your offlaner needs to have like a decent amount of damage that can be set. I mean, this is okay in terms of like the kill potential. It's just like his abilities don't really scale that much in the laning stage. Like, yeah, you have like 5 extra seconds on Carapace. It's 0.6 more stun. But in terms of damage, like it's just like not there.
Yeah, it's pretty lacking. It feels like you very often will always have to lane Nyx with a ranged offlaner as well, or else he loses a lot of his effectiveness. The Snap does make up for that in a little bit.
For sure.
One of the
Zeus is level
victories.
6.
Yeah.
So they need to start playing aggressive on the sidelines. This is what the hero tries at. Like, you can't afford to be passive. Coddle coming in, replenishing his mana. Region Rune being picked up by Nyx. Zeus would definitely love to pick that one up.
Oh, absolutely. And, you know, he's falling behind in the CS against Monkey King, to be expected. He's kind of been roaming around. He grabbed the 2 bounty runes at 3 minutes. He got both of them. So he's been ignoring the lane for a large part and moving around looking for runes, looking for anywhere he can maybe join a little fight. Also got stacks for him in the jungle. Maybe an opportunity to catch up. Serum, again, this Solar Bind slows him to a crawl, but Monkey King's in. Mini, he's slapping away at that Kotl. Doesn't have his Wukong's command, just relying solely on those right clicks. And now with the Boundless Strike onto Vitali, the Nyx Assassin's rotated in. Vitali, what's he going to do? Burrow Strike to the right, but it's too short. It's only a level 1 burrow. Now he's stuck and dead to Mini.
Oof, I hope this is a misclick. Going for a second point in Caustic.
Yeah.
It's just not good. And they will farm their stacks.
Oh,
Benny
they will.
will come
4
in
heroes.
with 3 points in flak and cooldown. Just grab it.
7 minutes in as well.
Yeah,
Perfect
so
timing.
Neutral items. 2 dropped, Fairy Trinket and Possessed Mask. So Benny will keep that 1. Get a bit more extra damage, and get a bit of a sustain when he farms the jungle.
Who gets the trinket then? Monkey King didn't want to keep it.
Snapfire probably later on. Because she deals most of the magic damage at the moment.
That's true. Well, things peter out a little bit. Bit of calm. And a pause, of course. But that stack being taken away for, from the Zeus or from whoever it might have been, a pretty big problem for them. We're going to watch that back, yeah. Vitali. They go on the Treant. I'm still surprised at that second point in Caustic.
There's no value in it. Like, it's just something you get later on. Your spells are too valuable. This is like not a farming tool. If you want to get a farming ability, get Sandstorm. It lowers the cooldown by 6 seconds. It gives more damage. It's just better overall.
So much better.
Even like he's not even playing into melee hero. If he was playing into melee, safe lane, like 2 of them, it's still not good. I mean, it's better, but it's definitely not worth taking.
Yeah, suboptimal for sure. Well, they had 3 heroes top. Chaos Knight has dipped back in the jungle, and Ogre, yet again, just putting himself on the front lines. Starting out onto Seram. Treant walking into the wrong neighborhood. A dominating Chaos Knight can now clear out what's left of their stacks in the jungle. I haven't seen a Zeus ulti yet. You said that you wanted to see Hokori maybe play a bit more aggressively.
I was about to say it. They need to make like stuff happen. This hero just can't allow not to use ulti, because ulti has been online for almost 3 minutes. Something, get anything done. Just play aggressive, get a trade. I don't think you want to trade your offlaner, but one of your supports trade for a kill. Zeus gets the last hit. It's worth it. He finds Fairy Trinket.
Nice.
Of course.
Of course he does. Yeah, it looked like they wanted to go on Benny there, but a good call down really deterred the Sand King and Keeper from chasing any further. Benny's just going to completely abandon that bottom lane now. Neglect the lanes, go into jungle. Going straight for that Chrysalis. Early game damage build. We've seen a lot from Gyrocopters of late.
Someone needs to be bottom. By someone, I mean Treant Protector. He can soak up the experience, defend the tower easily. Has a second point in Leech Seed. Not a big fan. You want to get an early point in Living Armor. I would say yes, if they were fighting a lot, then Leech Seed gets you a lot of value in the laning stage. But it's more about like delaying the push, and we can see the Coddle doing the same thing, Sanking farming the Ancients. After the Ancients, he's gonna have his Blink Dagger. No points in ulti, however. So needs to farm another stack.
Needs more points in the Burrow Strike as well. Okay, he'll have that Blink that initiation.
Yeah, one is okay. It's more about Epi, and he can position himself with the Blink Dagger.
Yeah, in this game state, everyone's kind of just getting what they want. CK is out farming the Gyrocopter for now, but we'll see how that changes when this triangle's all built up and stacked. Ogre on that ramp into the jungle. Gets cookied on. Mini has tons of damage from the Jingu stacks.
He got baited. Monkey King pretended he was a regeneration, and so Ogre wanted to pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, Mini also started the game before Rune spawned. He brought his courier out so he could turn into courier in the middle of the jungle. He's definitely do some fancy little tricks.
Yeah, you get the extra movement speed, that's why.
Some cool stuff. I saw a couple of days ago there was someone who turned into Roshan and went and used Wukongs. Had a bunch of Roshan clones hitting people. See if Mini can get that going as well. But here's the top tower push.
Game.
Yes, lots of features. Interactive game.
Seems like there's not going to be any response. Like, I don't like that Treant Protector is stopped. He's not level 6, so it doesn't provide you with much. Nature's Grasp, he should be bottom using the Nature's Grasp. And he's deeping tier 2 for now. Even if you go in, get like level and a half, delay as much as possible, it's still really good. Zeus ulti scouted them out.
Well, there's the first ulti. Hello, Treant. They should be able to find him eventually, but eventually means that the Wukong's on top of that Treant ulti. The kisses are good from Dunya, and they've blown up Gardic. Yuma's going to follow him as well. Chaos Knight and Sand King both dropping, and this reaction from the Radiant has been beautiful.
Yeah, they brought everybody. Treant just got the book delivered, got level 6 from it. TP'd. They're still going to lose the tower, but 2 cores. And also they saw Sanking with the Blink Dagger, so he didn't surprise them. A bit of different what happened in the previous series. Sanking got the ball rolling. This time around, not really happening. There is still Epicenter available, so they have 1, 2, 3 big ultis down. They should go smoke and seek for a fight. Zeus ulti did scout him out, but it was a bit too late. I think the positioning was really good. Monkey, Wukong's command. Wukong's level 1, not doing that much at this point, because Monkey's not as farmed, but it's just I think mental damage.
Yeah, it's like a threat on the floor.
Yeah, you can't. We can't stand inside. Still,
we have to
damage,
run away. Get out of the circles. The Blink Burrow though, it finds Benny. That's the big one they want. Gyrocopter tagged by the Epicenter as well, so he's slowed to a crawl. Monkey King, Mini, he's in on this. They'll lose the Treant as well. A double for Theolocor's Keeper of the Light, and now Mini. Yes, he's got Jingu up. 3 seconds for the Boundless Strike. Oh, Jupiter. He's going to hold them back with the Impale. Make sure Hokori cannot kill the Monkey King, even if he dies himself to a triple of the Kotl.
Yeah, we talked about CK's amazing horse, but what about Keeper of the Light's horse? Shadowfax, about to say it. Yeah, looks too good. He got the triple kill out of it. I don't think you want to give those easy kills to Keeper of the Light, but yeah, someone needs to pick them up. You would definitely, because Zeus right now doesn't have a single kill. He is 0-0-1, which is very weird for the state of the game. Yeah, I'd say.
I'm curious to see what kind of item build he goes for. It's been a while since I've seen Zeus in a pro game.
You need Ags. You definitely need Ags. It just amplifies your damage so much. Works well with Keeper of the Light as well. I think Ag Shard, I think, is the build.
Yeah, I do like that. I'm just thinking, we used to see that Thompson build, right, with the E-Blade, the Dagon. You don't really
Later
care
on.
about...
It's good. It's great. I don't think you can afford to go for it at this stage of the game.
Well, for now, Ether Lens and some clarities will keep him going with the mana.
Haste.
Bottom runes are haste for Mini. Echo Saber is complete, which will allow him to wail away at Gardex Ogre, who had made this journey into the Radiant jungle with, what, 5 sentries around? Down he goes. Top lane there looking.
Also, one of the reasons why Zeus is not doing so well, he's not picking up any runes.
Oh, Vitaly. Who was waiting for home? Sand King was looking for a sneaky jump onto someone, but this Nyx Assassin was just one step ahead and invis.
Nyx Assassin seems to be the hero of the day. Doing really well. Yeah, he has Tumbler Stow as well to set things up. Did this item a lot of value. He can close the gap. Sometimes it's all he needs. Just a bit of a distance. Because his stun is very, very hard to execute.
Well, that's the thing, right? His main strength we've seen in these past couple of games from Nyx Assassin, it's been who cares laning stage, who cares team fights, whatever. It is I am in Vendetta, invis, and I can stun someone. If I have any follow-up, we can get a kill on a core. No matter where on the map we are. Snapfire offers you tons of that long-range artillery damage. CK Phantasm bottom felt something wasn't quite right. Suram and Mini were both in the trees looking over him. A dead even game. We're kind of waiting for those BKB timings almost. TP's come out top. Our Observer Ward removed. This is retreat time for Hokori.
Yuma has been silently farming. He's on top of the network, has Armlet and Echo Saber about to hit level 12, so extra illusion coming out from him. Mini is also very farmed. Like Mini, they do have 2 cores that deal well with CK and the illusions. The Monkey King in Wukong's command, and also Gyrocopter is going for what I would say it's a pretty standard build these days on Gyro. Just Crystallis to amp up your farm, and then going to BKB so he can fight with the team, and then going for Ags after that.
Yeah, those BKBs are going to be huge. Vitaly misses out on the initiation. Yeah, they realize they need to cut their losses and back it up. We're going to have, what, BKB, Monkey, and Gyro. Actually, Gyro has his. It's coming out on Courier now. CK still pretty distant from it, so it looks like a pretty good timing here for the Radiant to play, but Mini caught the vision given by that Thunder God's Wrath, allows the CK and Ogre to trap him. Can he jump? He's got Ignite on him. He can't escape, not even with a TP.
Close one. Zeus still no kills, just an assist for now.
2 assists now. But he did have an Arcane Rune when he popped that ulti, so I'll have it again in about a minute. And he does have Kaya coming. Queued up anyway.
It's fine. I mean, it's an item. Still... You can feel it in my voice, right?
It's an item! Yay!
Yeah, if he gets an extra item compared to not having Kaya, which is better.
Oh, so good. Oh, the Battle of the High Ground Vision. Gardex come to this party too late. Cooldown's a good one. In onto Theo, they push across Vitaly, and Sand King has to burrow out, but he's dead. Benny's BKB reigns supreme as Gardex blown up. The lava globules going out of that Mortimer's mouth, and Yuma's walked into this fight. He's just gonna die. His teammates are already been shredded.
Oh, that was close. Okay, Analog will get the kill.
Yeah, they do get Benny in the end, and another one on the Snapfire. So Analog, sitting on the very outskirts of this fight, baits his CK in so he can claim the glory.
He's like, sorry, bro, you died. but actually not. Sorry, he might get a triple. Heavenly Jump ready in a second. Now Teolikor will just get a solo kill. 2 points in Solar Bind. This magic resistance reduction works really well with Zeus and Sanking. CK, he's so close to BKB. I'm a bit surprised they decided to take that fight, because he will disassemble Echo Saber, and I think he was 50 gold off BKB.
Yeah, super close. And yeah, you're right, that Solar Bind plus Zeus, it kind of reminds me of the Zeus ET days, where you would put Spirit on people and just blast them 100 to 0 with your magic damage. That's going to be incredibly potent. 3 BKB, which we're still looking at here on the Monkey King. Wait, is his coming? Disassemble Echo, yeah, same with the CK. Apu Kings yet again, ready to go. It just felt like a bit of an awkward fight there. The CK coming in after 2 of his heroes had died. Sanking didn't get the initiation. He was already on the run. Vitali's items and timings don't seem too bad. You know, he's sat dead even with the Snapfire. He's got Boots of Travel Blink. It's just the situations he's been putting himself in. Positioning hasn't been great.
Yeah, he also has a shard. I think BKB was needed a bit earlier, I would say, considering what they're playing into. If he gets the BKB Epi off and survives, gets another Burrow Strike or 2 in a team fight, that's pretty big. They do have Overgrowth, but I don't think you want to use Overgrowth on a Sanking who already used Epi anyway.
Yeah, not particularly.
Zeus does have a shard, so there's going to be a lot of damage coming out from the shard. And also, like, Sanking has a shard, so the longer the fights go, they just get damage from just, I don't know, being there pretty much.
Don't know if you caught it, but Dire scanned about 5 seconds ago in the middle of the top lane, expecting this kind of move, knowing that Jupiter was scouting and hunting. The hunter becomes the hunted, and it looks like Ogre. Ooh, he doesn't see Treant. He's up on the high ground, and he's got that shard, but he sees the gyro. Reality Rift and force the BKB. Benny is at half HP and goes for the teleport home.
Mini, he was not close. They definitely do need Monkey's ulti to be able to like zone them out, choose where they want to take the fight. They have a bit of hard time initiating, I would say, unless they get a good jump, unless like Monkey tries to catch one hero in the backlines with the Boundless Strike. And also they need Nyx. Nyx does have Blink Dagger, so that's gonna help, but if they're getting jumped on, if Zeus is using ulti and providing vision where Nyx Assassin is, I think he's gonna have a bit of a rough time doing that.
Benny,
they know there's no BKB.
They know, but the turnaround, Nyx and Monkey were waiting for him. Vitali still keeps on going, but the Snapfire kisses return damage onto Teolikor. A TP home will be a success. As Analog returns to Fountain. So ready to react. It's like the panel said as well. I think Lela said they don't have a hero to kind of go in. Has to be the Nyx, has to be the Monkey King to start things off. But if your opponents walk up into you, it looks wonderful.
They're very strong. They do have like ways of counter initiating, especially with Treant Protector. Heavenly Jump jumps across the some vine. Looks good.
CK. He wants that Treant. He'll take him. Dunya now gonna get lifted back in. And Zeus is there with his killing spree. BKB from Gyro, but the turnaround with the Wukongs. They found Teolikor and Yuma. Well, he gets a double kill out of this. Who can he get onto now? Benny? Oh no, the BKB wears off. He can't TP home. Hands a triple to the CK. And Vitali. Oh, he got no burrow. They knew the monkey was close by, but so lucky for Mini.
They're gonna run inside the pit. They just took a fight near it. There's a region at the bottom. Zeus will pick it up, bottle it. The CK passive ability Chaos Strike. When I first read the changes, I'm like, this is so random. Like, it's okay. It deals 1.5 damage to creeps, but Roshan is a creep, so it deals more damage to Roshan, which is pretty big. I mean, it excels your farming, but it was only one line. It's like, CK, you get this. You get nothing else.
Deals 1.5x damage to creeps. Even the big ones. And now back to resetting your lanes. Plenty of farm for CK bottom, so Scardy's going to come that much faster. What's Zeus? What's he up to?
He's
buying
Octarine.
Octarine. Okay. I'm just wondering if he was... just buys a casual Kaya. Wanted that extra bit of spell amp.
He can turn
Mana
that
regen.
into E-Blade. Just have a bit of something to amp up your farm. Maybe he thinks, you know, next assassin, he'll burn a lot of my mana. I'm not going to have a lot of mana to work with, so my Kaya helps out.
I guess it's also nice you've got that mana regen talent. And Kaya doing that mana regen amp. Allows him to sustain with his just ether lens and double nulls. He doesn't actually need to bring that many clarities to himself anymore. But holding Aegis, Hokori know they are incredibly powerful and they're swarming across this southern portion of the map. They want tier 2 and they want this bottom jungle, but it doesn't appear that Upper Kings are going to let them have it. Jupiter ready. The kisses are already coming. He jumps and stuns the Chaos Knight. Yuma, about half his HP is gone. Not a real fight, but we'll see what comes of it, because Saram and Mini, even deeper, but the Thunderbolt. They see the monkey, they miss the burst strike. They're still trying to chase Mini, but he's already leapt across the trees. Saram will have to be the casualty now. Lose the tree.
Monkey is far behind him. He might need the creep skip. I mean, I think that's what he needs to do. I don't think they're taking this fight anymore.
Radiant structures are fortified.
And that glyph will clear out the creep wave. Ooh, the dire glyph. They won't be able to take the tier 2 anymore, will they? Yeah, Mini, like you said,
Radiant's
skip the
bottom
creeps.
tower is under attack.
Maybe I'm underestimating Chaos Knight's damage here. I'm whacking away at that objective. I'll find it.
Radiant's bottom tower has
Still 3
fallen.
minutes on Aegis means they can probably go and clear out top lane as well.
They're already on the hunt. They're trying to set things up on a top lane.
Oh, look
he's
at that.
gonna go for it.
Yeah, the split second of vision there. Maybe a timing where Dunya could have blinked, but Vitali so fast on the fingers. Yeah, it's the Snapfire. And at all times, it feels like Apu King of Kings are without a hero here or there, and Yuma's just charging into triangle. They get the vision with the Thunder God's Wrath. Nice carapace out of Jupiter, and he blinks away. But now this means triangle belongs to Dire. Top tier 1 should be easy pickings for them.
Radiant's
With this
secured
build,
it.
Analog seems to be scouting things out. There is an Arcane Rune that he can pick up. Works really well with the Octarine core now. So,
Radiant's
yeah,
middle
it's just
tower
going to
is
be...
under attack.
For now, ulti
Radiant's
is,
top
what,
tower has fallen.
90-second cooldown ability? So he pops it every single time it's up, scouting them out to see where they're moving.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
It's been used like it's just a scouting for Monkey King. Like, where's Monkey? Where's Nyx?
Radiant's
We've got a
bottom
Zeus that
tower
can find
is
you.
under attack.
He's keeping the distance. They didn't manage to kill
Dire's
Zeus
bottom
one
tower
time.
is under attack.
He's positioning himself well. Also, double damage just spawned.
Oh, that's nice. Leave that for the Chaos Knight.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Apu Kings spreading their wings out, getting to the other side of the map. They would love to be able to pressure this bottom tier 1 just a little bit more, get gold in the pockets of their supports. Having a blink on the Treant, for example, would be an amazing boost to them in terms of teamfight potential. And Hokori, they're all over the map. At any given moment, you just know that there's going to be 5 heroes out of the woodwork.
It's tough.
Facing
You have Keeper of the Light with Shard, Boots of Travel, and Sanking, so they can set things up very easy. They also have global presence coming out from Zeus, so they need to respect that.
Does that mean you want to play as 5 or groups of like 2 and 3? It feels like you cannot be alone on the map showing.
Are scanning.
They will
That
need to
Seeker
wait
just-
for Aegis to expire and then smoke and try to go for a fight, like full 5-on-5 engagement, because this is what their lineup is about.
Ooh, Monkey. Jumps left, jumps right. Vitali. Gave it a good shot. Many toying with him a little bit. DP's back mid, so it looks like they might be trying to smoke out of this mid-tier 2 area. Play around the vision that they do have near Sarem on that high ground. It's being pinged out by Hokori. Yeah, they'll remove that vision. So important to get rid of that information, but they've initiated on the Sand King. Vitali nearly blown up. His BKB won't help him against the physical of Mini. Gardic also shredded by Benny. Hokori, though, still in a 3v5 and wanting more. Benny's been jumped by the CK and obliterated. Sarem and Mini got to get the hell out of here. They've got a Harpy Scout flying over the trees. The Dire sees absolutely everything.
Oh man, Sanking, he got caught by Shard on Nyx Assassin's Carapace. You gotta be careful. Any uncontrollable damage against Nyx could be a double-edged sword. And this Gyrocopter, he still dies. CK, a monster, he has Reality Rift. There's a spell immune units, so that's really good. Like, you can still kill him, even if he tries to TP out. Having Phantasm on, or just if you get a stun, because I've seen a lot of CKs picking up the earlier shard, especially if they don't kill Roshan early on. It's a strong shard. Just having a illusion and also the cast range, it works really well. What are you
How do you feel
Gary?
about this Harpy Scout, man? I want to hear your opinion on that Harpy Scout.
That creep is just imbalanced. Doesn't belong to Dota. I don't know how we came up with that idea. You have a Night Stalker ulti without having Night Stalker.
Oh, it's so bullshit. Also, the fact that Sand King just boots and travels onto it. You got this Harpy flying, giving AoE vision everywhere. Goodness gracious me, and Sand King just TP's there, ready to fight. Oh, yeah. Again, Hokori all grouped up. I know they are strong together, taking objectives. No need to wait around and defensively position and play around Roshan. They can just push these waves, force the Apu King of Kings to split push, cut waves like Mini's been doing.
Also, the problem with that creep is Helm of the Dominator gives extra mana to units, and this creep needs mana to move. So you do have enough mana, so you can just move around the map freely.
Ridiculous. Oh, we're going to Zeus ulti. How's the Dire Vision? So Dire Vision sees blue. They see the Treant for a sec. Now they see Monkey King. They know Snapfire was showing bottom. Yeah, they know 3 or 4 heroes are down in that bottom jungle, so they will smoke across to try and find anyone straggling. Look to connect on someone, but the fact that top and mid are pushing onto tier 3s and with no heroes there, you'd think Apu King of Kings would understand. The hunt is on. Sarem, straight away, blown up by the Thunder God's Wrath. They also scouted Dunya, but he's blinked into the trees. He's all right. Mini clearing out Dire Ancients, grabbing some neutral items. Gotta be careful, though. They've got this recall. Kotl, Yuma here as well, but they've already left.
And this Solar Bind, numbers are insane. 34% magic resistance. When you pair that up with just sanking stun, Sandstorm, and moving around with the shard dealing damage, and Zeus ulti, you die. You straight up die. Maybe add the Spirit Vessel on top of it. It's just so powerful.
That's insane. Oh, here we come again. Got it. Just eyeing up this ancient camp. Understanding. And he is incredibly tanky, and he actually baits out the stun from Jupiter. Assassin's got to fall back. As does the monkey. But now we've built ourselves up a 12k lead for Hokori. And it feels like they've got the entire map on lockdown. Apu King of Kings pretty much in quarantine right now. Stay in your base. Not allowed to leave.
Getting smaller and smaller, and it's not going to get easier. Roshan will respawn in a minute and 20. They do have that super balanced Harpy Creep Scout around to check when he's going to be spawning immediately. And yeah, there's just to scout any kind of... Like, it scouts out Monkey King. This creep just ruins certain heroes.
Such a good Helm of the Dominator pickup by the Ogre. I often wonder... As a position 5 Ogre, oh, hang on a second. They've got to catch on to the Kotl. Dunya, though, is dragged back in as Vitali jumps onto the Gyrocopter. He's stunned, though, so he can't Epicenter, can't BKB. Gets demolished by them. Dunya will be found by the Thunder God's Wrath, but Yuma's BKB is about to end. He's going to try to TP, and his stuns are coming. He's got the overgrowth from Sarem. God, it's going to TP home, but Benny picks up a double kill in a sloppy fight. 4 heroes dead. How did this happen?
They got initiated on Snapfire using a BKB plus shard. All their lanes are pushed in. There's also a catapult, so there's going to be a lot of damage on their towers if someone doesn't respond. 25 seconds until Roshan is alive. Also, Sanking needs to be aware of Nyx Assassin. He needs to use a BKB and then jump in. I don't think he can afford to try to jump in anymore without popping the BKB. Nyx Assassin, he's getting the gold. He has the big boy Philly, saved up 3,000 gold. Once he gets the Aghanim Scepter, and that Ag Scepter is probably top 3 in the game. Very hard to farm. There's a saying, me and Fog, I love to say it. If you find Philly on Nyx, you can go Ags. If you don't, it's tough. I don't think you can go for it. Maybe, but it's gonna take a lot of time.
not permitted. Well,
No, it's that not permitted. But if you have Philly, this is your item. Like, this is what you're looking for. And you know that eventually you're going to get it.
This DD done a lot of damage that tier 2 mid, but it's also allowed Apple King of Kings to come into Roshan. Half HP thanks to this little shredder minus armor. Smoking as well. CK has just respawned and TPing to Outpost. Oh, Vitali's in. Monkey with Wukongs, but the damage! Where did they go? Holy shit, they've just been demolished by that Zeus. Mini's gonna die inside the pit as well.
Yeah, I think one of the heroes just blew up from Caustic and they exploded. Also, Zeus sitting there casting spells, blinding light, illuminate, all these things combined on top of the solar bind. I want to see the fight again. I just looked like they evaporated in a second. Must be Caustic. I mean, it was a full FP channel plus a sandstorm. And they do get Aegis, they do get the shard. Who picked up the shard? The Sankey had it, Zeus had it. It's Ogre now. He was the only one who didn't have it.
I'm trying to be in the head of King of Kings right now and thinking, okay, we won a team fight mid, we're taking Roshan, and then suddenly all 5 of your heroes just disappear. What can you do?
There was not enough damage. It was a really slow Roshan. I think like it was unfortunate timing for them because the heroes on side of Hokori were about to respawn.
Replays up. So Vitali, he gets ready.
I mean, they see them. The problem is they see them with the Harpy Scout.
True. You're absolutely right. So Vitali jumps in with the Illuminate, perfectly timed, Zeus ulti, and the dead. Caustic pops.
Yeah, the Caustic pops.
Shard comes. My goodness. And now you're going to lose potentially 2 sets of barracks. They're TPing back up top with Vitali. Tier 3 crumbling as they've already brought down that middle lane. And Upper Kings trying to wrap around here. Nyx with the tree and thinking about initiating. But again, the dire vision, the knowledge they have around this triangle. They see everything coming. Where is that Harpy creep now? Oh, it's down bottom.
Covering the huge area. You try to go, you get scouted, you get jumped on, you die. It's that simple.
So simple. What now? Hokori doesn't seem they want to really hard commit for top. They want to fight, apparently. Smoking up. Jump on Benny here, maybe. Gyro's out in the open. He's got BKB Satanic, but it doesn't matter when he's stunned and blown up. Demolished. Oh, God. He's gone for a minute and a half.
And they assume he doesn't have buyback because he just bought a full Satanic. And they will poke. They will see. He's 500-600 gold short on buyback. So this is going to be mega creeps. There's no tower on the bottom lane. No gyro for 70. The game might just end. They're not committing.
Maybe a little bit afraid of that potential for the buyback. But I think you're right. Once they now realize, hang on a second, he's not done it. He's not doing it. They can take this set. Maybe even rotate tier 4s, all that bottom lane, like you say, for the mega creeps. This Harpy has done so much damage to the Radiant without doing a single bit of damage.
Bloodlust that creep.
Oh, hell yeah. Make it fly faster. Oh, outpost bottom can be taken.
I'm a bit surprised they're still given so much respect. There's a minute and 40 left on that Aegis, and here they go. Phantasm is available.
Yeah, in onto that bottom lane. Vitali's going to clear out the wave and stop the Monkey King from messing around.
Harpy Scout, Fire Shield, and Bloodlust on top of it.
What a monster. That is a beast. I've got living armor on this tier 3, but doesn't feel like it's going to last much longer with CK illusions everywhere. We need the Monkey, the Jupiter Nyx to jump on in. Sirem's died already. The Monkey with the Wukong's still looking good onto Theo the Core. Jupiter dropping quickly, and Yuma, he does have that Aegis and a BKB when he respawns, but they've got a refresher on Mini. Second Wukong's with another BKB, but the Thunder God's Wrath demolishes the support to the Radiant, and Yuma does BKB TPs. Nothing to stop him. Sandking might get caught on his way out.
This is big. This is gem. They can get it.
Try and find Vitali, but Zeus is still toying with them. They are deathly afraid of this Zeus. Analog, he's put the fear into them. Mini and Benny on the run back, and Vitali now can reinitiate onto Mini's Monkey King. Dead for 100 seconds. And now we're in a 5 versus 2.
They're buying back. I love the initiation from Hokori, where they just like, okay, we can try to end the game. I think they got a little bit surprised by Monkey King's refresher. He is level 25, so these big circles kind of hard to fight into. And the CK is coming back. Another Phantasm is available with the AC. This is Mega Creeps. 70 seconds with no Monkey King. Gyro. Also about to die. Oh, it's Snapfire, never mind.
No, loses Snapfire. And this is why Kotl, like we've been saying the entire night, Kotl, when you're ahead, feels so good. CK, BKB TP's home, and you think, okay, that's the end of that. And he's recalled back into the Radiant base, allowing them to kill the Snap, kill Tier 3 and Rack's bottom, move on to Tier 4s, and close this game out for good. We do have a couple of supports respawning in 2 seconds on Apple King of Kings, but the fact that Benny just gets dragged back with that Reality Rift, wasting his BKB, should put this one to bed. Salve up the CK.
Still 30 seconds on Monkey and 70 on Snapfire. Snapfire, also no buyback. She used it in the previous fight. It's time to try to close it out.
The Treant is like, how do they see me? What's going on? I'm placing sentries and placing observers, but this Harpy is over his head 24/7.
Sees everything. It's the all-seeing eye.
Vitali, there's another carapace from Jupiter. Stops the Sand King in his tracks. Siram now dead again, and the throne. It gets glyphed up. Respite for a second. Mini wants in with a 3-man boundless. It looks good. It looks fancy. It's beautiful, but it does very little in reality. The game is called. Hokori take game 1.
A bit of a slow start from Zeus, but he ended up the game with no deaths whatsoever. Analog kept the distance between these fights and just went for like the kills. He understood, like, if I get close to Monkey King, if I get close to Next Assassin, most likely I'm gonna die. And we see the power of Keeper of the Light and Sand King once again having a bit of a global presence as well. Once Kotl picks up that shard and the Boots of Travel on Sand King, so it's very hard for them, for Up King of Kings, to play the side lanes, because there's gonna be a kill threat. You can immediately have like 3 heroes with just Keeper of the Light TPing there.
I mean, it felt absolutely deliberate from Analog, right? The fact he didn't die, he was playing incredibly defensively throughout laning stage and into mid game. He was, you could never see him. You could never jump the Zeus. He was always hiding, playing the outskirts of the fight. Wonderfully done. Great stuff. Hokori taking game 1. And I think we'll head it back to the panel, see what they had to say about that victory.
Thank you, Gareth. We're here with a wonderful game won by Hokori. Pretty well executed overall. Some very interesting things. I'm going to ask you, Duster, first, because you were on my last panel when we talked about the Zeus build. What did you think of it this time? Once again, a relatively weird build. No Ags, but it seemed to make much more sense this time, at least with the playstyle, right?
Yeah, no Ags, but with Kotl, and like, you can farm so much, and you can actually scale much better with Kotl helping you. And the Sand King Zeus is actually my favorite combo right now. That's just unfair. This damage is unfair. Like, what can you do against it? Like, even if you pick a save, okay, you're gonna save one guy, but everyone's dying for it. So, and in my opinion, props to Gardic. That Dominator was just genius. Like, he's playing this Ogre that on a late game is kind of useless, besides Bloodlust, and he got this creep, and it's just completely changed the game. It's like game-winning creep.
Yes, that trick is broken, though. I really hope they patch it, because that should not be in the game. But I agree, it was a very clever idea. Lelis, you hyped up a lot about Vitali in the pregame. Do you feel like he fulfilled your expectations?
Yeah, I think he did well. I think he had once I think he blinked in and he got Carapace. He didn't press his BKB. It happens sometimes, but I think he played well. I think everybody on Hokori played pretty well. I think the Harpy creep is just way too absurd. This thing just has to get nerfed. It's just insane.
Yeah.
Like, it just won the Roche fight off the creep. They just see everything, right? They just go in. They see the Roche HP. They see everything. But I think Hokori played a pretty clean game. They threw a little bit when they died, right? And then Appa went Roche, but then they ended up managing to just end the game after that. But I thought they had a really good grasp of the game. I think Appa panicked a little bit in the beginning of the game. I'm not sure why the Treant didn't skill his armor and why he didn't just sit bottom. They kind of just abandoned the bottom lane. I know that sometimes it's good for you to rotate and get a kill or something, but I feel like it took way too long for him to go down there again, and he didn't really get to play his hero, like just sitting in the trees just delaying the tower. they did TP 5-man and then defend the tower, but that's like a different thing, right? It was a little bit weird to me. Maybe he knows something I don't about the hero. Maybe that's not even good anymore to do it. But it did seem a little bit off for me.
Duster, you're a resident support player on the panel, so I'm gonna ask you. This is the hard question. Try to get in the mind of him. Why do you think he did that? I was also surprised.
It's not the best living armor game, because the enemy team has mostly magical damage, but still, it's your only way to defend towers. Like, you gotta have it to delay the game and to protect the safe lane. Like, he had to abandon the safe lane because without this living armor, it was like, just hard to play there. And yeah, I can understand the reason on not using it on heroes, but you need for towers for sure.
Right. No, but I like that logic, right? It's important to know that players do have some logic behind the decisions most of the time. Even when Analog didn't buy Ags the last 15 games on Zeus, there's something there that we're missing. Anything you'd like to add, Duster, for Apple King and Kings that you think they should improve for game number 2?
They need a better hero for Dunya, for sure. Like, I feel like Hokori kind of targeted him a bit. They banned Mars and picked the Sand King, and
yep.
Snapfire doesn't look like his third hero so far. I feel like they need to try something else, something more similar to the Mars and Sand King, a more reliable Blinkstone, maybe a Centaur or something solid like this. So yeah, I'm really hoping they can help Dunya a bit.
Lalas, do you think that was kind of on Dunya, or was it more on the Snapfire pick itself? Because you criticized that pick in general as an offlaner.
I just think the pick was a little bit underwhelming. I didn't really see a reason to pick the Snapfire like that. You just don't really see it, and I think the value of the hero is just the flex. And a lot of you can just pick the Snap with Void, right? And then it's different. It's like picking, I don't know, Invoker with Void, and then you can hit other spells. It's a lot different. I don't think it's on him. I think the way the game ended up, it just didn't really favor him. I would also like them not to... I feel like this Gyro hero is just very weak without any buffs, and it just seems impossible for me for a Gyro to carry against a CK with Bloodlust. I just don't see it. He's just gonna buy Scotty, get on him, and he's just get destroyed.
Yeah.
I think the game is just way too hard. Even if they wanted to scale, sure, you have like a Monkey King, a semi-carry that's going mid, but I feel like this Gyro won't ever be able to scale into these heroes. He has nobody to actually like help him. He has living armor, but it's kind of Kappa, right?
It's kind of... Sorry, what did you say? It's kind of Kappa?
Kind of Kappa, yeah.
Well, can you explain that? I'm sorry, I'm a boomer. What
I mean, it's just the emote, right? It's just not really.
It's like a joke,
like,
right? Okay, all right.
Yeah, it's just a.
Is that the Gyro matchup, or is just that Gyro without buffs is very underwhelming right now?
I just feel like the Gyro without buffs is just underwhelming. People are used to seeing Gyro plus Io, and then it just looks a lot different, right? There's this global TP, he has attack speed, he farms faster, or you see Gyro with Ogre, he's just super fast, he just walks camp to camp. But Gyro, like, with no buffs, I feel like he's just way too weak. He's a BKB dependent hero, right? So when he doesn't have BKB, he just feels a lot weaker. And if you don't have something that's there, like, helping him after the BKB is over, he just has to, like, either BKB TP or just run away, or he just dies. Like, he died every fight after his BKB is over, right? He just dies instantly.
Yeah. As my final question before we go to the break, Duster, I'd like to ask you, because we talked about Benny's solid hero pool, right? But if we actually look at most of his heroes are either buff dependent or they do really well with buffs, right? The Lunas, the Gyros, even the Dusas, right? Do you think they should try to prioritize that? Maybe deviate from the Trim Protector, go for an Ogre? Obviously, Mini's Invoker is going to get banned, so is that something they could try to prioritize in the draft next game? Yeah.
Position 4. That also helps, kind of a buff and also save. Yeah, they need to support in a bit, for sure. Trend Protector, I believe you can still work if you maybe change build a bit, get a Solar Crest, and get the Living Armor also. Maybe it's a little bit of buff. But if they can get... The Invoker is going to be impossible, of course, but at least an Ogre Mage would definitely help them.
All right, and with that, guys, we're going to be waiting here for the next game to begin. Hokori, they took the game number 1 pretty convincingly, but Apple King and King still has a chance to force a game number 3. We're going to see what happens as we take a small break. We'll be right back with more SA Dota.